That I'm never going to get used to that. I wonder if that's in the recording. Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show. I am your host, Matrix Lloyd 212, and I am with Scott. What's up, Scott? You're muted. Muted.
We are currently recording, and that was not my voice you heard.
I don't even know if they're going to hear the voice. That's interesting.
Oh, okay.
We heard this weird electronic voice. What's up, Chris?
You know, the last time I heard a weird electronic voice, I woke up and I didn't know where I was.
Okay.
So we're in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, I know. Might be some other universe with amalgamations of monsters. All right, so
Right?
what's happening? What's the news?
Oh, where do you want to start? You want to start with some of that good old Star Wars news? Or?
Yes, I'm going to have some cookies.
You mean Kennedy gone? Oh, God, yes.
I'm going to have some
Oh, she's not gone. She's not going anywhere.
Damn.
What? Well, David Filoni got promoted to what?
Allegedly, he got promoted to executive producer.
What does that mean?
So it could mean one of two things. I'm going to give you an optimistic answer, and I'm going to give you a pessimistic answer. And unfortunately, I think the pessimistic answer is probably the one that's true. Either the optimistic route is that he really did get promoted, and he's going to be able to have a bigger influence on the creative aspects of Star Wars going forward.
That's bullshit.
Which would be fine.
I don't think so. All right.
Him doing it?
No, I think it's bullshit that, like...
Oh.
No, I think it's here's the thing. I think they're trying to take away attention from
That's
Kathleen
what I
Kennedy.
think they're trying to do. Yeah, that was going to be my pessimistic
So people
answer.
right away that are stupid will be like, oh, well, see, she's not doing it anymore. There's no excuse now.
That's why I was saying that.
Okay, so yeah.
Not that anybody's stupid for thinking that, but like,
I know.
he got the title, but I need to see some sort of influence going forward if that's actually the case before I get excited. I'm like, oh boy, things are okay now. So yeah, hey, Dave, congratulations. I love your work. You know, let's see where this goes.
Yeah, congratulations on his raise too, whatever you got there.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
I'm sure he did.
The other thing, The Bad Batch is out on Disney Plus right now. It's quite good. I really, really like The Bad Batch so far. There's 4 episodes. I think there's a total of 18.
Steve Pop was saying he liked it too.
Yeah.
It's very good, and it's trying to answer that question of why didn't the Empire continue using clones?
Oh.
And it's doing so in a very interesting way, a way that I didn't think they were going to go. I say that is also the one drawback I have with the show is that right now they're like, well, conscripted soldiers are better than clones, and so far that's just clearly not true. So there must be
too. I mean,
yeah, there must be some sort of clone incident that happens that stops the Empire from using clones. That most likely happens at the end of the show. So I don't know. We have to wait and see with that. Other thing that I heard.
Is it that the clones turn on the Empire? Maybe.
It could be a lot of things. But we just have to wait and see. Another thing I heard. This is a rumor right now. I don't know if they might announce this later on, but it sounds like Rangers of the New Republic may not be getting made.
Yeah, isn't that supposed to be for Gina Carano, and now she's not there, so it's like... Okay.
Allegedly, that's what... They never said anything officially, but allegedly that was the case.
The one episode, one TV show that they were going to nix, they pretty much are going to air that episode after all, though.
I think they did, right?
Yeah, that was like on National Geographic or something.
Yeah.
But, so the fate of that show is kind of up in the air right now.
Right.
If not completely canceled already.
They didn't try to get her back, right?
There was a rumor that they were trying to do something with her, but I don't know if that was ever substantiated or not.
I wouldn't blame her for one. If I was her, I wouldn't blame her saying, hey, here, screw you.
I wouldn't go back. Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
Well, if I was Disney, I'd get her back because I'd be like, all right, we fucked up, here's some money, and then...
I may try to get her back, but if I was Gina, I'd say, hey,
No, I know.
over,
of course. But I'm just saying, like, they made a mistake. Just like when Disney fired James Gunn, they made a mistake, and they brought him back, and now they're going to reap the rewards with Guardians 3 and whatever else. So, you know what I'm saying.
But that's their last movie with him now.
No.
Oh, okay. I thought it was his last movie there with him.
Yeah, They could always get him to do more stuff. But anyway, other than that, I don't think there's too much Star Wars stuff going on right now. I know Obi-Wan is filming. I'm imagining we're gonna hear something about that probably.
Yeah, what's
towards-
this? They're gonna fight again, Vader and Obi-Wan, and
Hypothetically, they're gonna that's what they're saying, that there's gonna be some sort of conflict between the two of them.
so in other words, this is going to explain like why Darth Vader thinks or thought that Obi-Wan's dead and didn't pursue him for years. Is that what it is? Like something happens and they think I haven't felt the presence so long, and like in other words,
Yeah.
this is what's going to make him, whatever happens in this battle, not pursue Obi-Wan because he's going to think that he killed him or not sure that he killed him. Is that what's probably going to happen?
That's what I'm imagining. Yes.
That Obi-Wan's probably going to lose or whatever.
Either Obi-Wan, I don't think it's going to be like a win-loss thing. I think what's going to wind up happening is like they're probably going to fight for a little bit, and then something's going to happen where they get separated, and then Vader's going to think, okay, there's no way he survived that, and then
Right.
he's going to take off. Because allegedly, like if the rumors that we've heard are true, the story revolves around Vader making a squad led by Commander Cody, who was the clone, basically the leader of a large portion of the clone army.
Yeah.
Who worked with Obi-Wan, Vader basically tasks them to search for Obi-Wan,
Okay.
and I guess that's kind of where the story goes from there. I personally think that if that rumor is true, then the story is going to be Obi-Wan leaving Tatooine for a little while because they start to get the trail that he's on Tatooine.
So he leaves to take the trail.
He leaves in order to protect Luke and his aunt and uncle. He leaves to kind of get them off that trail, and they're like, okay, maybe he wasn't here, maybe he was here for a little bit, but he left.
So he makes some noise somewhere else, so that way.
Yeah, I think I that's what I'm imagining. I could be wrong about that.
That's smart.
That's the only way that I can rationalize Obi-Wan leaving Tatooine, is that he
Yes.
leaves to protect Luke, because my issue is like if he just leaves because he's like, I have to go help those people on the other planet. It's like, well, what about Luke?
Yeah, it would
Like,
make
what-
no sense.
No, so he does it purpose. Now, are they gonna have Yoda feature? No, it's just gonna be on Dagobah.
he would, if Yoda's in the show, I would imagine it would be like some sort of forced communication between him and Obi-Wan.
on Dagobah.
I highly doubt it though.
Because they don't want to bring attention. Because Darth Vader has no idea that Yoda's survived.
Right.
So he never even looked for him. Period.
Right, and even if
Because
he
the
did,
Emperor was probably egomaniac. I just tried him, whatever, and he's like, okay, right. That's.
I
probably
think
what
the Emperor always had a feeling that Yoda was still alive, because in
happened.
episode
You think
3,
so?
yeah, because in episode 3, when the shock troopers tell him that they couldn't find his body, he was like, double your search, because he was worried that Yoda was still alive.
Okay.
So I think he always had a feeling that Yoda was out there, but I will say this: I think that he definitely felt in the Force when Yoda died in Return of the Jedi.
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah.
Oh, he knew. Yeah.
I think he felt that. I think that's also part of the reason why his ego grew as big as
Right.
it did, because he's like,
And
well,
now
now
it's
I
like,
don't have
let's
to worry
get
about
Luke
that.
Now. Let's
Yeah.
get Luke now. Yeah.
So
What's
yeah,
with the
I
comic book? Because the thing is, they're doing some weird shit, I guess, in the comic books that they got Luke's hand and the Emperor said, I'm
So-
gonna make more or some shit. Like what?
yeah,
what-
in that in one of the Vader comics, he finds Luke's hand. I don't know the entire context of this, but
This is not
allegedly-
canon, though, is it?
it is canon. Yes,
It
absolutely.
is real.
Absolutely, yes. Allegedly, he finds Luke's hand in a place that looks very similar to Exegol. It might actually be Exegol.
How the hell did the hand get to Exegol?
Whoever found it in Cloud City shipped it there, I guess.
I'm
And-
gonna ask a weird question.
well, let me just say this: the implication potentially is that part of Snoke comes from Luke.
Ugh. Yeah, I don't like that. All right, I'm gonna ask you a weird question.
Hmm?
At any point in time, are they going to say, probably not, but say that the Luke from Last Jedi was like Luke clone or no?
Nope.
Okay, no. That's Luke. Luke died. That's it.
Mhm.
You're not going to recreate a ending for him or he died, he just faded.
Yep.
But the comic implies that Vader battles the Emperor, which how would that happen? Or why would that wouldn't that not happen in canon?
Not necessarily. So
I mean,
whole
he's so
the whole
loyal
point-
to the Emperor. Where did
he's
that
not
come
he's not loyal to the Emperor.
from? Okay, so from
No,
what we see in Return of
no Sith apprentice is completely loyal to their master because it is the purpose of the Sith apprentice to one day kill their master and replace them.
Okay, so that's why the Emperor treats him like a dick sometimes? Probably.
It's a couple of reasons. It's the Emperor would do that normally to his apprentices to make them strong so that they were
Okay.
always aware and always ready for anything going on, and that's just the way that he trains.
So stuff that we didn't see in Empire and Jedi, like Vader's actually wanting to basically take over.
He's loyal to the Emperor to a point, but if at any point he had a clear way of killing Palpatine that he knew would not be foiled, he would absolutely act on it.
Ah,
Absolutely.
that's interesting.
When
I
he
didn't think
told
that was the case because
when he told Luke in Empire, "Join me and we can
we
destroy the
rule
Emperor,"
galaxy as father and son. Right?
there's a iota of truth in that statement.
Right.
Yeah. The other reason that Palpatine does all these things to Vader is that he's upset that Vader is not the way that he had imagined.
Well, I mean, he
Palpatine-
did get burned from lava. I mean, he's
Exactly.
not, like,
Palpatine's whole goal was for Anakin to turn into Vader without the armor, without the breathing. You know, he wanted Anakin
so
to
this
be
kind
like
of handicapped him.
yeah. So when he got Anakin, when he went to Mustafar and saw Anakin's body all burned up, and he saw that Anakin was still alive. In the movie, he says, "Look, there he is. He's still alive." But in the back of his mind, he was like, "He's still alive."
I don't know about this.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he's strong enough, but he could have been so much better if he didn't get his ass kicked.
Oh yeah. If Anakin didn't get burned and he immersed himself in the dark side, he would have become a Force user so powerful that he would
But
have
he
been
would have
able
killed
to.
the Emperor.
He would have
5
destroyed Sidious and Yoda at the same time if he had to.
Right. Wow. Shit.
I'll put it to you like this. In Clone Wars, Anakin has so much potential that he was literally able to tame the embodiments of the light and the dark side of the Force, who were definitely stronger than anybody else, except for their father. And he literally did that just by saying, "Stop," and using the Force on them. And they were like, "He's going to kill us. Like, we can't do anything." And then their father was like, "Yeah, that's his purpose."
Wow.
So, and that was when he was, still a Jedi.
Yeah.
Had he not been burned and he topped into the dark side, I honestly think that he would be a Force user with the potential to probably like bend reality if he had to.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Now, how powerful is Rey compared to like Vader?
What movie?
The Rise of Skywalker.
I think Rey is about the same level that Luke was in Return of the Jedi in that movie. Maybe a little bit stronger.
Probably strong because she learns instantly.
She definitely knew more Force abilities than Luke did at that point, but I would say maybe she's a little bit stronger than Luke in Return of the Jedi. So I think that she would give Vader problems, but
She's more stronger than Ben Solo.
They're supposed to be equal in power.
Yeah, they're the trait. Whatever
Yeah.
the hell that's called.
So I think here's my thing though. Like, yes, that on like a power scale level, like that's where I think they both are. However, I still think Vader would be able to defeat them because A, he's still the chosen one, and B, he has far more experience
Yeah.
than both of them did at that time. Vader has over 30 years of experience.
Yeah, I think definitely.
From being a child to Jedi to so not to mention that the Anakin always has in the back of his mind, like in back pocket, he's the chosen one. He's a being made of the Force. So at any point, he can snap the potential of just being stronger than any Force user.
Right.
If he really immersed himself. That was Anakin's problem, is that he couldn't let go. He couldn't immerse himself fully into. Okay, so think about it like this. Think about The Force Awakens, right?
Yeah.
You have Kylo Ren fighting Rey. Kylo Ren is wiping the floor with Rey.
Right.
Until she lets go and she
Right.
immerses herself in the Force. And look how
Then he
powerful.
gets scared. He got scared. He's like,
Right. Now imagine how powerful Anakin would be if he could let go and if he immersed himself in the Force. He
but
would
also
be
Poe
almost
Dameron
unstoppable.
was a little resistant too, though. Like
Yeah,
he had
because
the Force.
he's most likely Force sensitive.
I did like that scene.
Yeah.
Like, but I didn't like that he had his mask on.
It was a subtle thing that they did with Poe to kind of make you think, oh, maybe he's Force sensitive. Maybe.
Yeah.
And he is, I think.
I thought Finn was always sort of Force sensitive too.
He
but-
was. He was.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he was.
He should have had the lightsaber. He should have been trained too.
Yeah. Luke should have been training him and Rey.
Yeah.
That should have been what happened.
And then,
Absolutely.
to me, it went off the rails. Jumping the shark. I thought with the Last Jedi, to me, it was like the two didn't connect. I know we're getting off topic, but all right. So anyway, back to the Emperor cloning Luke's, I guess, or whatever the hell. So this is canon. It happens, and at the end of the day, Vader's still with the Emperor, even if they probably fought or whatever, right?
Because Vader could never stop the Emperor. George Lucas said that Vader was only ever at most 80% of the Emperor's power.
Vader was 80% of the Emperor's power.
Yep.
Okay. So he would never go against the Emperor until
Not directly.
he found out that his son is alive, basically.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck this. I'm going to kick this guy's ass. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So, Book of Boba Fett, right?
Mhm.
They're making that.
Yep.
And The Mandalorian is just quiet now, right? Now,
At the moment, yes.
we're hearing rumors that they're going to do a time jump. Is that true or no?
I absolutely think that's what's going to happen. Yeah.
And it's going to get to Rey time? Like they might bring Rey into The Mandalorian, I heard?
So that's a rumor right now. I don't think it's going to be like that, because if they did that, that would be a substantial, like that's like over 20-year
Yeah.
time jump.
And wouldn't he be like, I mean, they're not going
Din
to make it.
Djarin would probably be like 70 at
Right,
that
so how
time.
could he be, like, how could The Mandalorian just be able to be The Mandalorian if he's 7?
Yeah. So I don't think.
Unless
I think
they
at
age
most,
differently, but they're not going to say that.
I think at most what's going to happen is it's going to be like a 5-year time jump or something like that, and whatever is going to happen there.
Where is Grogu in Rise of Skywalker?
Who knows? At that point, he would still technically be pretty young. He would be like 80 or 90.
And nobody would know of his existence. Like, the Emperor couldn't sense him, and Vader couldn't sense him. As powerful as they are.
So no, because we don't know everything that happened during
I
that
know
time
that.
period. Because when Ahsoka's telling Din about what his thoughts were, there's a point where everything went dark. I think what probably happened was, and Ahsoka does say this too, he probably cut himself off from the Force so that nobody could find him.
Okay, another question is, who saved him? R2-D2?
We don't know who saved him.
But he knows
That's-
R2-D2.
No,
He doesn't know R2-D2.
he does not know. No,
He looks like he knows R2-D2 in that episode.
he was just kind of fascinated by R2. He wasn't like, so there's a lot of rumors, there's a lot of speculation about who could have saved him. One of the things that people were saying was they thought maybe the Bad Batch was going to open up with one of the clones that didn't follow Order 66 saved him. That's not the case, at least right now.
I mean, what about Mace Windu?
That was another thing that people were thinking, that Mace survived the fall, went back to the temple, and saved Grogu. I don't know. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if it's somebody that we don't know.
Well, let me ask you a question. With all this stuff now that they've added to canon, or not added to canon, maybe it's been there about this healing garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible that somebody healed, or Grogu healed Mace Windu if Mace Windu saved him? Like, he grew his hand back or whatever. Like, could it be possible?
Hypothetically, yes. That would be a stretch for me, though. Like,
Because if he was fully healed, he would go after Pop.
we don't know. We don't know how. We don't know how advanced that ability is, at least on Grogu's level.
Right. Okay.
Like, I doubt it can grow back limbs. Like,
Oh,
it's
okay.
different. It's different when you heal. Like, Rey healed the cuts on that serpent, and then on Kylo Ren. Yes, the wound that Kylo Ren had was pretty bad, but it's more like a controlled wound where like like losing a whole limb is a totally different story. And what Ben did with Rey at the end was not a force heal. That was something on a totally different level.
So him bringing her back to life, that was just taking his life force.
Yeah,
Right. And she couldn't bring him back because she don't know how to do that.
I mean, he was dead at that point.
So he was more powerful than her, maybe.
No, I think they were still on the
He's
same
still
level.
equal.
She could have done that to him, and the same thing would have happened.
Okay. I think it was a mistake killing him, but
Oh, absolutely. You know, somebody made it was supposed to be a meme, but it wound up blowing up as like a serious thing. It was a picture of Ben, and then they listed off all the things that he is in Star Wars, and it's like not only was he the last Skywalker, but he was like the Prince of Naboo, and like
yeah. I mean, if they would have at the end, if you would have thought he was dead, and she says Skywalker, and then behind her is like Ben Solo, then I would have been like, yeah, that's cool, right?
They shouldn't have killed him off. That was a huge mistake, because I honestly think that he was the only character in that series of movies that could still be salvaged as a pretty decent character.
But it was the whole woke, let's have women be on top garbage.
Yeah,
Well, no. I mean, here's the thing. I don't know what that was that she saw that she fought, but I really liked that there was this evil thing of her.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it couldn't have just been an illusion that she was fighting herself. I mean, I don't know what that was. I don't know where that was from.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was an illusion?
It was a dark side illusion, yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't real, or was it a premonition?
It wasn't real. It was just like she was literally hallucinating. Now,
Yeah.
The method of what made her hallucinate is debatable, but I personally think it was Palpatine making her see that.
So it wasn't a possible future. It was just
It was a possible future.
Yeah, it was one possible future.
It was what Palpatine was showing her, though. He
what
was like,
she
hey,
would have
you know,
become
If
if
you
the
followed
Emperor
this
wins.
path, you would have turned into
Like
this.
if the Emperor took her over, that's what she would be.
Yep. Now, why she had that stupid ass lightsaber is beyond me, but
I did like that though.
the clack lightsaber.
No, I liked her evil self.
Oh yeah, no, that was cool. Yeah, no, that was. I'm telling you, man, they had an opportunity with 8. They should have done the friggin' double turn.
Yeah.
She goes dark, he goes light.
I
That,
agree. I agree. That would have been great. Yes.
that would have been the
That would have
thing that they
been
were all
fantastic.
saying before the movie came out. They're like, there's a twist in this movie that's bigger than Luke, I am your father.
Yeah.
And
That
I
would have worked. And I think if they'd gone that route, people would have liked that movie a lot better than
I'm telling you, man, 2 things. I'll say this. 2 things would have made that movie a bit more palatable for the audience. It wouldn't have been perfect, but it would have been palatable. And these are the 2 things. It would have been very simple to do. 1, don't fucking kill off Luke,
Uh-huh.
which was the dumbest thing that they could have done other than killing off
I
Snoke.
fucking hated that.
And 2, don't kill off Snoke and have Rey turn and then Ben turn too. Done.
Like I said, I think that whole death thing with Snoke should have been pretty much a trick
Yes.
as it was. So
That was fucked up. That ruined the whole movie.
I'm telling you right now.
It was cool to see it, right?
Yeah.
But when I saw that, I'm like, well, what the fuck now? Like,
Yeah,
once
exactly.
that happened, I'm like, well, the movie's over now. And it's not even over.
Yeah.
It's like the movie's over. Game over.
I don't
You just
understand.
fucking killed the main shit.
like from a narrative standpoint, right? Like me going into them killing off Luke, right? Like this is how you would think the narrative would go, right? Like, okay, if you're gonna tell this story that Luke was just like, fuck everything, I'm leaving, right? If that's the way you want to go, okay, then like logically the narrative would go, Luke does that, Rey finds Luke, Rey doesn't want to train Luke, Rey inspires Luke to come back, Luke
Luke
comes
doesn't
back,
want to train Rey.
right.
Right.
Luke comes back, saves the day. We're going to end this in 9. Luke doesn't die. Okay, great. Luke's redeemed at the end of 8, goes into 9. Instead, they were like, Luke leaves, Rey finds Luke, Luke doesn't want to train Rey, Rey inspires Luke to come back, and then Luke dies.
And the thing is, like, it's like they hate fucking Luke Skywalker. Whoever the fuck is doing shit in Star Wars, because it's like
the whole woke, let's hate males
I mean,
crap.
first
That's
of
all
all,
that
like,
was.
he's the one that ran to fucking Leia and Han when he wasn't even fully trained. So why the fuck would he go to kill his fucking nephew in his sleep? And just run away from his sister and his fucking best
Because
friend?
he thought that Ben was going to kill them all.
But why would you just leave them to him? Like, why would you just?
He told them what happened, and then he felt that it was his fault, and then he left.
But he's gonna kill them. Like, why would you just leave them? If you created the monster, right?
That's why.
So then
That's
why
why.
wouldn't you fucking defend your sister?
She didn't need to be defended.
Because she's that super fucking woman.
Mhm.
No, she just
Flying
didn't need
through
to be
space.
defended.
Right. I mean, she was fully trained, right?
He thought no, she wasn't fully trained. He
Okay.
thought that Leia and Han would be able to save their son compared to him.
Like he shouldn't interfere.
Right.
That's stupid. That didn't make any sense to me. That choice, honestly, there's many times like we've talked about this, and many times I've tried to look at a different angle out of it. I never arrived at a conclusion of how he and why he would do that.
I could see Luke doing
and
that.
it's funny in Rise of Skywalker how he's dead. He's like, yeah, I was a stupid ass. Because, like, Jedi are everything. Like, wait, what?
Once again, it's one of those let's bash the white male guy. Let's
yeah.
have the women be the ones that are on top. And that's all that pretty much
I
was.
personally,
Garbage.
in my opinion, I think the worst portrayal of Luke Skywalker was in The Rise of Skywalker because
Really?
he was an absolute buffoon in that movie.
Oh my God! Wow. I didn't think so. I hated him in Last Jedi.
Hated
Wow.
I hated when Luke was on screen in The Rise of Skywalker. I was literally thinking, I never want to see this character again.
And I was just thinking the opposite. With Last Jedi, I was like, oh, thank God I don't have to see him again because he sucked.
See, I would have been more comfortable with Last Jedi Luke had he not died because narratively I would have been like, okay, now that makes sense. But when they killed him, I was like, why? Why would?
Well, now let's now talk the future because, again, you could push me in the right direction. Is the rumor that Brie Larson is Mara Jade true?
At the moment, no.
Okay. Is the rumor that Brie Larson is forsaking Captain Marvel because she's going to be part of a new trilogy because she's a Jedi?
That's absolutely not true.
Okay.
Because they just announced The Marvels.
Yeah, that's supposed to be.
She's going to be the main character.
No, but at the end, she's going to be like a vegetable, isn't it?
No.
Because aren't they going to do that? Like in the comic book, she fights Rogue. Rogue takes her powers, oh, they're not?
Absolutely not. And the reason I can say that for 100% certainty, they are not doing anything with any X-Men right now. At all.
Well, what if they just had
I was hoping that would be the case, but yeah.
What if they didn't have? What if
Because
they
X-Men
didn't?
is not until like maybe 2 years. I'm going to say.
Well, what if they just didn't say she was an X-Man or name, but it's Rogue?
She's still linked to X-Men though.
I wouldn't.
So in other words, Brie Larson's not getting kicked out of the MCU.
Not right now, no.
So in other words, there might be
everybody who's making videos saying that already has an ulterior motive to get Brie Larson out of things, and it's just not true right now. Yeah, it's just not true right now. Yeah. Now, do I think that she's tied to some kind of Star Wars project? Yes.
Well, I thought that was definite. That Kevin
No,
Feige.
it's not definite. No.
This
Oh,
just
it's not?
in, she's playing
No.
the new version of the Jawas.
Does Mara Jade exist in this universe?
Not yet.
Because if he was married to her, then he would be forsaking her and running off. So that wouldn't happen.
If he was married to her, then personally, what I think is going to happen is that they're going to be like, yeah, Mary Jade exists, but she doesn't need no man.
Oh, so it's not going to be
Yeah.
like she's pregnant with Luke's kids?
No.
So there won't be no Skywalker running around,
No, there's none left.
supposedly.
There's none
Definitely
left.
not. Definitely not.
Yeah.
They're not going to put anything in canon that's going to be like, oh, okay.
They could do whatever they want in the future, but as of right now, no.
There's no Skywalkers left.
Our last Skywalker
Just
is
that
away.
friggin' Washington nuts. Choose Palpatine. So
I know, yeah.
I'm mad about that, by the
Hence why you don't kill Ben Solo, but, you know,
way. Right.
whatever.
I'm not, I don't accept that. And neither did
Hey,
she.
yeah, you know how the Rise of Skywalker should have ended was Ben and her there, and you see Rey pregnant with twins, and that's Jason and Jaina. But
Right.
What the fuck do
But
I know?
originally she was supposed to be Obi-Wan's kid or some shit.
Yeah,
Which, would they change canon and make it that way?
no, she's Palpatine's
That
granddaughter
sucks.
/ clone daughter, actually. But whatever.
Well, she's not. Okay. This is where it gets tricky. Okay. Palpatine's kids were clones. But she
His
was
son was a clone. Yes.
right, but she was naturally born
Yes.
from a clone and a regular person.
Yes.
So she's technically not a clone.
No, I'm not saying that she's a clone. I'm saying
Right.
that she's technically Palpatine's daughter because his son is a genetically identical clone.
That now you're getting weird. I mean, she's the granddaughter basically, because
In-
Boba
in-
Fett is the clone of Jango Fett,
Right.
but it's not that.
Boba Fett is the clone of Jango Fett. He's not actually Jango Fett's son. Like that's
That's what I'm saying. So in other
Yeah.
words, like she's not his daughter. She's the granddaughter, kind of.
he perceives her as a granddaughter. Yes, but genetically, no. That's not
Wow.
the case.
I mean,
They wrote themselves into a corner and they didn't know
Yeah.
how to write themselves out.
Exactly.
Because if Palpatine had a naturally born child, they would have to explain that whole thing.
correct. 'Cause
Who
he
was the
didn't have
mother?
How do you have time to do that shit? Right.
Hey,
Right.
You're off controlling the universe. You pick yourself a
What
damn-
woman would go with Palpatine? Right. It's like
You spend more time with these guys, but not with me.
cook
Get
me
the hell
dinner.
out! I'm asking for alimony.
Yeah.
I'm taking half the empire. You
Right.
can go
Yeah,
have whatever.
exactly.
Death
you know
Star
what
Take
would have made
You can take the
Well,
battle
what-
droids.
what would have made more sense, and if they're actually going this direction, like explaining things like this are possible in the comics, it would have made more sense for Rey. Fuck the love story with Ben. It would have made more sense for Rey to be like a clone of Luke or a clone of Anakin. Hence,
that.
she's a Skywalker.
Mhm.
But-
I don't want that. That was weird
I-
that the
I
lightsaber called to
absolutely
her,
wanted that.
Like
I
whatever shit.
absolutely wanted that because I'll tell you right
You know,
now.
You wanted
if
the
she-
reincarnation. I know you.
If she no, even if they just said she was a clone, it makes everything else make sense. If she's a clone of Anakin or Luke.
I mean, I have a bad taste in my mouth with that whole situation. Because here it is.
And then,
I did like Force Awakens
And,
But the
so did
problem
I.
is they wanted to write
A
off
lot.
Darth Vader's
a lot, and then it's like some asshole just please. It's like some asshole just taking over. You know what the fuck they were doing, and the vision was totally fucking obscured. And why are you going down to that planet? And the kid with a broom and freeing the animal. Like what's happening? We're losing.
Well, I'll say that.
What's the
I'll-
plot? Because
I'll
we're
explain
losing.
that. I'll explain that in a second. But like, if you make Rey a clone of either Luke or Anakin, in my opinion, it would be better if she was a clone of Anakin. But let's say they did Luke because they
I think
had
she
his
should
hand.
be a clone of Snoke.
No. Let me explain why that makes more sense. Right. Then it explains A, why she's so powerful. B, why she's such a good pilot. C, why she's so technically sound because she has these like echoes of the past in her. It explains why Anakin's lightsaber called to her. It explains why Kylo Ren feels a connection to her because he's related to her. And we get to jettison the stupid Reylo fucking love story and you could have a love story between Ray and Finn.
Well, that's what it should have been. That's what it looked like it was going. That,
right?
Honest to God, you watch Force Awakens and like, these guys are hooking up.
Then
I
you
don't
could
know
tell
what happened.
Then
Like,
you could tell the story between why Luke doesn't want to train her. You could tell the story, but like why Leia feels such a connection to her, why Han feels such a connection.
yeah, I
to
didn't
her.
understand that either. It was like the timeline skewed into this tangent because it's like,
Right.
Wait, why is Finn with this? Wait, what? Like, why
Right.
isn't Finn?
And then,
Why isn't Finn and Poe Dameron massively involved with Rey in Last Jedi? That's just
Exactly.
fucking stupid shit.
and then
Honestly.
you can have the reason why Snoke wants to train her over Ben. You could have the hypothetically, you could say like the Knights of Ren see her as more of a closer to Anakin than Ben, and
That's
thus
why I
they'll
hate the whole
return.
clone of Skywalker is Snoke because, like,
Well, part of Snoke, not
I
the
just
whole.
don't like. I don't accept that. Because it's like, wouldn't she sense it, Leia?
Not necessarily.
I don't.
Her senses weren't that attuned.
And they never really went into detail with this whole thing with Snoke against Leia and fucking like there was this. They should have went into the backstory of Snoke and he's super fucking rich.
Yeah.
And it's just so fucking stupid the way everything.
So you want to know why The Last Jedi sticks out like a sore thumb?
Yeah.
When Rian Johnson pitched a movie, he pitched a movie that was not part of the main trilogy. He went to Disney and said, "Hey, I have an idea for a movie. It could be its own trilogy. I want to do this." And they read the script and they were like, "Hey, you know what? You should make the episode 8."
That's terrible.
And he was like, "I don't want to do episode 8. I want to do this." And they're like, "No, do episode 8." And he was like, "Okay."
That's
And
bad.
then he said, "So can I do this?" And they're like, "You can do whatever you want."
Yeah, no, that's bad. They fucked that up so bad.
That's why I don't blame Rian Johnson for what happened. I blame Rian Johnson for his response to what happened. He didn't need to go after people who didn't like.
I kind of blame him because he's an asshole.
I absolutely don't, because he went to Disney and was like, "Can I do this? Yes. Can I do
didn't
this?"
they screw
Yes.
over J.J. Abrams? Wasn't there another cut of Rise of Skywalker that he got pissed?
There's always alternate cuts of movies.
I understand that, but wasn't there a thing where his production group and him were really fucking hot about it that they didn't go with his version?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's all bullshit
No.
online too. Okay.
I think that there's alternate scenes and stuff that he shot.
Is
but I don't
J.J.
think-
Abrams ever gonna fucking do a project that we're not pissed off about?
No.
I think you answered your own question.
Hence the new Superman movie that's coming
Yeah.
out. That's all
Yeah,
I'm saying.
don't.
We're gonna go. We're gonna
yeah.
go with the whole.
We're
African
gonna
American
stop right
Superman
now.
instead of doing Steel
We're not
or
even
the
gonna get to that.
pacifist Superman from
I'm
that
not.
alternate universe.
That's a
By the
whole
way, I'm
nother
done.
cast.
I'm done with DC. Just so you know, I
I kind of
AT&T is too.
yeah.
yeah, and it's unrecognizable what's going on in DC Comics. And
The only thing I'll watch is the Batman because that actually looks good.
Yeah, in fact, you're gonna have to have a
Suicide
black
Squad,
light
I
with
wanna see.
Batmobile.
I'm gonna
James
tell you
Gunn.
right now. I'm gonna put this out there. I might be totally wrong. I think Suicide Squad is gonna suck.
no way. You think
I
so?
absolutely yes.
Oh shit! I think it's gonna be phenomenal.
I hope it is,
Yeah,
but I think this movie's gonna suck. I really do.
it's a lot of fucking characters. Yeah, Peter Capaldi's gonna knock it out of the park, though.
I hope so.
All right, we're running out of time. Thank you guys. Take care. Bye for now.